Hello there, beautiful, and welcome back to The Dark Alchemist. In today's EFT session, we will release tension with a little tapping body scan. Now, this week's tapping topic is inspired by this week's pick a card reading, where we looked at a message that your spirit guide has for you. If you're interested in that, you can find it in the pinned comment down below. And connected to this topic of feeling tension and releasing tension, you will also find a 30-minute Reiki treatment that's coming out later this week. If it's out already, you'll also find it in the pinned comment down below. And with that said, let's hop into our tapping. Now, please be responsible for your own well-being. I cannot see how you might react to anything I might say, so I can't intervene like I usually would in a one-on-one session. So please take responsibility and stop if it feels too spicy for you. And with that said as well, let's hop into our session. We're going to start this off by centering ourselves and taking a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. And now I would like to ask you to drop your attention down into your body and notice what's present for you. Notice where in your body you might feel sensations of tension. Perhaps you have certain emotions connected to that or emotions present in general. And maybe you have particular thought patterns connected to that as well that you can notice right now. And I want you to rate from a scale of 0 to 10 how much tension you're currently feeling right here, right now in your body, with 10 being maximum tension. Good. That's our starting point. Now, please tap where I tap and repeat after me. Even though I have this tension in my body, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have this feeling of tension in my body, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have this tension in my body, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. All of this tension in my body, this feeling of tension in different parts of my body, all of this tension, all over my body. This feeling of tension, this is the collarbone point, by the way. I know you can't see that well with my sweater. All of this tension in my body. All of this tension in and around my head. All of this tension in my face. All of this tension around my forehead. All of this tension around my eyes. All of this tension around my cheeks. All of this tension around my mouth. This feeling of tension in and around my jaw muscles. This feeling of tension in my face. This feeling of tension at the top of my head. All of this tension in the back of my head. There's tension in my neck. There's tension on the left side of my neck. There's tension in the right side of my neck. There's tension in my throat. There's tension in my neck and shoulders. All of this tension in my shoulders. All of this tension in my left shoulder. All of this tension in my right shoulder. All of this tension in my upper back. All of this tension in my upper back. All of this tension in my arms. All of this tension in my left upper arm. All of this tension in my left elbow. All of this tension in my left lower arm. And all of this tension in my left hand. All of this tension in my right arm. All of this tension in my right upper arm. All of this tension in my right elbow. All of this tension in my right lower arm. And all of this tension in my right hand. All of this tension in my arms. All of this tension in my chest. All of this tension in and around my heart center. All of this tension in and around my heart. All of this tension around my rib cage. And all of this tension in my mid-back. All of this tension in my belly. And all of this tension in my waist. All of this tension in my mid-back. And all of this tension in my lower back. All of this tension in my hips. And all of this tension in my pelvis. All of this tension in my left butt cheek. This feeling of tension in my right butt cheek. This feeling of tension in my lower body. All of this tension in my legs. This feeling of tension in my left quadriceps. This feeling of tension in my left hamstrings. This feeling of tension in my left upper leg. All of this tension in my left knee. And all of this tension in my left calf. This feeling of tension in and around my left shin. This feeling of tension in my left lower leg. All of this tension in my left leg. This feeling of tension around my left ankle. And all of this tension in my left foot. This feeling of tension in the sole of my left foot. This feeling of tension on the top of my left foot. All of this tension in my left foot. All of this tension in my left leg. All of this tension in my right leg. All of this tension in my right quadriceps. And this feeling of tension in my right hamstrings. All of this tension in my right upper leg. This feeling of tension around my right knee. And this feeling of tension in my right calf. This feeling of tension in my right shin. This feeling of tension in my right leg. This feeling of tension in my right lower leg. This feeling of tension in my right ankle. And all of this tension in my right foot. This feeling of tension in the right sole, in the sole of my right foot. And all of this tension on top of my right foot. All of this tension in my right foot. All of this tension in my right leg. All of this tension in my body. All of this tension all over my body. This remaining tension in my body. This remaining tension in my body. All of this remaining tension in my body. All of this tension in my body. I'll take a deep breath in and out. And please drop your attention back down into your body. And notice what is present for you, what you can feel. Perhaps you can feel some tingling sensations. And just notice what's happening. Notice also what's happening on an emotional level for you right now as a result of this tapping. And also what your mind is doing. And I want you to rate again from a scale of 0 to 10. How much tension you are currently feeling right here, right now in your body, with 10 being max. And hopefully the number has gone down a bit for you from the beginning, from our first starting point today. And I hope you enjoyed this. Just a few more words about the tapping route that we've just done with this tapping body scan. You can use this kind of tapping anytime you're experiencing tension. And if you notice, for example, that there was one particular body part, or there's one body part where you feel a lot of tension, you can also do your own tapping round, just focusing on that one area, and just like this tension in my right hip, for example, or wherever it starts for you, whatever's happening for you. Personally, I love to do this kind of body scan tapping almost daily. I guess I do it. And it's also nice, like after work, when you want to transition into the evening, and there's kind of some residue of tension from everything that you've done during the day, and like running around and rushing and doing all of these things and cooking, and it can be really nice to just throw this in there, this little tapping round, to really allow your system to release, let go, and go into the relaxation mode. And yeah. Anyway, that's it for me this week for you when it comes to the tapping. I can't speak anymore. Let me know how this resonated in the comments for you, what shifted for you. If you have anything to share with me, I'd be happy to hear. And that's it. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.